Hi, I'm Frank McKinney Hubbard, but most people just call me Kin. I'm an actor, caricaturist, engraver, artist, and a humorist. One of my friends at the Indianapolis News called me a genial dapper Dan with the soul of an imp. Let me introduce you to some of my friends. Abe Martin is my model of a cracker barrel philosopher. He's a small town, sharp and witty, independent fellow with little formal education, but plenty of common sense. He is just one of the plain folks who most Americans could identify with. Then there is Miss Fawn Lippincott. She is a spinster and the author of short stories who fondly remembers the 5 years she was 18. The talk around town says that she has lowered her skirts for Lent. At 103, Uncle Niles Turner is Brown County's oldest resident. He has always smoked and chewed tobacco, and stayed away from lawyers, but he says that if he'd abstained from tobacco he'd be at least 150 by now. He delights in telling the most outrageous and preposterous Indian stories and scaring little children. Miss Tawny Apple is a very good poet at age 19. She works as the ticket seller for the Fairy Grotto Nickel Theater. Miss Abigail Ainsley is active in local gardening circles. Her ample proportions suggest that she is a good cook. Mr. Tipton Budd is a gentleman of strong convictions and a mule breeder. He is proud that he once was a delegate to the Tri-State Checker Players League convention. His wife has money. Mrs. Tipton Budd holds the formula for a very valuable and never-failing sheep dip that promises to revive interest in wool. She has got so she can drive her electric car into the garage only hitting the sides a little bit. Cale Fluhart is the publisher and editor of the Bloom Center Sliphorn, a weekly newspaper that has solicited comments from faithful readers like Artie Small, who writes, "I like the Sliphorn's way of saying nothing, yet writin' at length." Professor Clem Harner is the sole instigator of the Brown County Silver Cornet Band. Tel Brinkley is a businessman whose service creed is, "George Washington never told a lie, but he was also a very poor businessman." As my pal Abe Martin often says, there's few things as uncommon as common sense.